beginner music.
You guys asked me, and I'm going to answer. What's the difference between a key and a scale? Well, a key signature is using only the major scale to indicate all of the notes in the next portion of the song. So for instance, if I said, okay, so the key of G has an F sharp in it.
G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. That is the G major scale.
Well, wait a minute, Alan, what about the minor scale? Mozart song number 553 in the key of E minor. It's actually this. That's E minor. And you say, well, wait a minute. I thought that was G, the key of G. And I say, yeah, it is. So why are we using that F sharp for two different scales? Well, the E minor scale, along with any other minor scale, should have never existed in music theory. So to summarize, this is only using the major scale to approximate all the notes used in the portion of the song, even if it's not exact. For instance, if we did this, if we took our C major scale and we took the fifth note, the G, and made it a G sharp, what we do there is I would call that C augmented major scale. So it's a C major scale with a raised 5. What they would call traditionally is the A harmonic minor scale. They would say A harmonic minor. Because, again, they think that by starting on this note in their imagination, it changes the reality. There'd be no sharps or flats, but they would call it the key of A minor, but they wouldn't indicate a G sharp. There would be no G sharp here, down here. Why is that? Because they won't let us deviate from only having major scales or what they consider minor scale in the key signature. But in reality, in a lot of songs, we have that G sharp there. This is extremely common in popular music, not just from now, but from a while ago. This is not some outlier weird music theory thing. That's the scale. These are the actual notes, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A, B. That's the scale. But the key is going to say the key of C or A minor. The best approximation of all the notes in a song, only allowing us to stick to the major scale. This is the actual scale. So for instance, if I had a song that went C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B, this could be written as the C major scale, like this, but then we would alter the E flat every time it happened in the song. So every time E happened, you would see a little E flat down there. The problem is this. That's not a major scale key. This isn't one. So that wouldn't happen. So every time an E happened, you would have to mark the little flat before it, which is kind of annoying and weird. Interesting thing, though, they wouldn't even do that. They would make it more complex because they had this thing called melodic minor in their own stupid way. So we're not going to get into that, maybe in a different video, and that's a lot of fun. In fact, I can't wait to show you guys the difference between that. Check this video series out I'm going to be doing here on basic music theory stuff people have asked me. And if you feel like learning even more from my perspective on how music should have been, check out my music theory book, The Science of Music, right here on TikTok, right below. Thanks for watching.